Hello, and welcome to the Beginning Strings Orientation. I thought this would be easier than meeting in person, and I hope that you enjoy this presentation and that you get a lot out of it. So I'm going to be reading from a script off to the side, but the purpose of Beginning Strings is to prepare for your child to be in orchestra. An orchestra consists of a number of students playing instruments and on different parts, and there are like 4 or 5 parts in a string orchestra, and they're all playing their music and they're harmonizing together, but it takes a lot to get to that point. And String Explorers kind of give you an idea of what it's like to learn a stringed instrument, but not with the level of expectation and help that you would get in an actual program where you're taking lessons and being part of an orchestra. So that's what this is. This is foundation layer at a whole new level from String Explorers. So this program is specifically designed to teach students the foundation of how to play their instrument so that they can get to the point of being ready to play in an orchestra. Your private teacher will help tremendously, but the group class provides motivation and it moves students forward at a faster pace because of that. It gives a broader exposure to what being a string player is all about. So how to support your child during this time? Daily practice routine is number one, right up there with taking your child to lessons every week. So weekly lessons are very important. And then making sure you follow through on the things that you learned with daily practice. I recommend 5 to 6 days of practice time a week. I don't ask for the 7th day because we are a Christian school and we do not require practicing on Sundays. Posture is very important. I know you've heard me say that before. You're going to hear me say it again. Posture makes a difference between somebody who is able to play a piece now and somebody who's able to build a whole repertoire of skills and be able to play it all the way through the most advanced repertoire. So posture for the bow hold, posture for the left hand, posture for the body, the straightness of the spine. These things are so vital to being able to play your instrument well. And while you can get by with a collapsed wrist or collapsed fingers on the bow for the beginning stages, you won't be able to go much past that. So I highly recommend paying careful attention to posture. And that leads me into the next element, which is parental involvement. So kids can't see themselves. Their eyes go outward and your eyes can look at their body. And so if you sit in on their lessons, take notes, help them practice, you will be able to catch things that they're simply not catching. Also, we have adult minds and they are kids. And so we can see some things that they might not be able to see that even though you may not be a musician, will become obvious to you as a way you can help your child fix something a little sooner than they might have realized on their own. Read the weekly communication I send out. I try to be pretty good about sending it right after class within a day. I'm not always perfect at that. This particular week is a really good example of that. But connect with me if you have any questions. On the weekly communication, I have 5 different things. I have what we did, how to prepare for next week, evaluations, explanations, and concerts that your child might be able to go to. So what we did obviously describes what we did in class. How to prepare for next week includes videos, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And evaluations are where I have a check sheet and I have a list of skills that are important for everybody to learn for the foundational level of their learning. And what I do is I go through the students and they demonstrate for each other and for me. And if they demonstrate well, I check it off. If they show mastery, if they don't, I put a circle there. And then I might have a moment, 30 seconds maybe with that student where I'll give them a little bit of individualized instruction. And then the next week we check it again. That way nobody's left behind and we all make sure we are learning those skills. But it's important for the class to move forward as a whole that everybody try to keep up on their skills so that they can pass those evaluations so that we can all move forward. And that's where we come to videos. So I send out videos, and you notice this in String Explorers. I send out videos that demonstrate skills. And the reason is in class I show the students how to do a thing and we practice it, but then they get home and it's so easy to forget what I introduced. And so this helps jog memory or guide a student through something, or especially if a student was absent, then they have a possibility of learning what they missed and coming into class prepared. So I've learned that making demonstration video of these skills supports everything that we're doing in class and helps students remember. Students then practice more effectively and accurately, and they come back to the next class with the skill learned. And in order to move forward as a steady pace as a class, I'm asking that students work on these skills that I give them every day. We also have something called a practice challenge to help motivate students. This semester's practice challenge is the 100-day challenge, and that is practice 100 days in a row. Now, in a row is deceptive. I give a day off each week, so 6 days a week is what that means. For students who might get sick, and really can't practice, or if you're going out of town and you can't take the instrument, you can listen for that amount of time instead. So the recommended time of practicing is about however long your lesson is. Most of you are taking 30-minute lessons as beginners, so that means 30 minutes of practice. You're probably not reaching that yet. It takes a little while, maybe a month, to kind of work up to 30-minute practice sessions. But once you get going on that, then what you can do is you can listen instead. So if you normally practice 30 minutes, then you can listen for 30 minutes. Listen to the songs that you're playing now or about to play. Listen to good orchestra or good solo videos or audio, and that can count instead. Just don't use that too often. We really do want to get that practicing in. Other ways to support your child: listen to your child play, sit in on lessons, as I mentioned, sit in on practicing, as I mentioned, encourage and be the person that gets to be the cheerleader in the stands. Let the teacher make the corrections. When you make corrections on occasion, if you're practicing with your child, try to be positive at the same time. I know it can be hard. And go to concerts. So children learn a language by listening to it, and musicians learn their language by listening to it. If you want good sounds to come out of your child, then go to concerts that are going to give your child those really good sounds. Other than that, what they're hearing is themselves practicing or their peers practicing. So you want to give them that mature sound to kind of pull themselves up with, which is really good. And the final thing I wanted to talk to you about is chamber music camp. So I run a chamber music camp every summer, and it's for students all the way through high school and different levels, and they work with each other, and the high schoolers mentor the younger students, and it's a time of a lot of fun and enjoyment with your instrument, but also a lot of encouragement and intensity. So kids tend to learn a lot more about practicing during that time, get excited about seeing the possibility of where things are going. They see what the high schoolers are doing, and it's a really good time of good music learning. So I would highly encourage you to attend chamber music camp, and I will be sending those dates out shortly, along with information. All right, so that's the orientation. Please feel free to contact me at any time. I'm available by email or by cell phone. I believe you all have my cell phone number, and you can text me anytime, or if it's necessary, you can call me. So I really enjoy working and teaching with these students. So have fun.